Hello everybody, and good afternoon, and welcome to this game between the red Terran Barballs, and the teal Zerg, myself, Tankcast. I'm on the upper right-hand side, and he is on the lower left-hand side of Naga Caverns, which, at least at the time at which I played this game, which was a couple weeks back, I had very little experience on this map, um, but I think it's a very interesting map. Your expansion is rather close to your main, and there are just a number of expansions to be able to easily be taken by either sides, and it's fairly open. Nothing like Incineration Zone, which was a pain for Zerg. But anyway, this is the second game of a best of three between us two. This was played for the newegg Wanfest tournament back in late August, and I just decided I'd show you guys my tournament games. Some of them are interesting, and I hope you enjoy. I thoroughly enjoyed playing it, and when you play tournament games, it definitely feels different than ladder. You get a sort of thrill, a sort of high that you don't get from just playing ladder, knowing that if you lose, you lose. If you win, you can progress and even maybe get a reward. So anyhow, the first game is posted. This is the second game of that best of three. So the Terran player Barballs down here is getting his barracks at a fairly normal timing. No early Vespene Geyser, which is not indicative of any sort of early Reaper. But I do almost take out that one SEV who is building the barracks, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I do get that last hit off, really stalling his barracks timing right there. And I'm going to go in for whatever scouting information I can get before leaving with that drone. In my base, I went for about a 13 spawning pool, and I'm going to keep on droning up a little bit until my spawning pool is complete, and I did get about a 15 or 14 hatchery also, so an early expansion, which is quite effective against a Terran player as long as I don't harass it really well. If you look at the income, it's always fairly even early on, though he does have some more workers, a slightly better income than me, and that's because I opted for this early expansion, which, even though it's really an economic build, you'll have a slightly less effective income really early on. And just like I did last game, I'm going to be getting this early spine crawler so I can move it over to my expansion and defend it from Reapers or from Hellions or from whatever he comes in there with. Unburming it and slowly, spine crawlers, they just move so slow off creep. It's a little ridiculous. Anyhow, you can see him. He's building a proxy barracks right next to my base. I thought this was really interesting. It took me a while to figure it out, first of all, as I don't know it's there. His barracks is in his base, just making marines, getting his orbital command, as well as extra finery. So here he is next to my base, building a proxy barracks that I have no idea that he even has. Here I am, I'm moving my Zerglings across the map, trying to gain whatever semblance of map control you can really early on. I'm getting both Naga watchtowers of Naga caverns, and bringing my Zerglings to his ramp so I can look up and see what I can see at the front. But I don't see anything too special. I don't see any attachment on the barracks. I don't know. He could have a factory, or he could try to be going for a fast starport. I really do not know at this point, unless I wanted to sack my overlord. And so, of course, I have no idea that he has this proxy barracks now building a tech lab behind my base. My expansion just came up, planted my spine crawler, and now I'm trying to get some more drones as well as a queen for that base. This game I did go for a roach war, unlike the previous game in which I went for a lot of Zerglings. So we'll see how that works out for me. Roaches are very effective units, and though they move quite slow early on, once you get the speed upgrade, they can be very effective. On this left side, you can see Barballs is taking his expansion, not in the normal location at the natural, but at this 9 o'clock expansion, sort of out of the way, hidden, and I believe it does take me quite a bit to find that he has that located there. Army-wise, let's look at the unit counter. I do have 5 roaches now, as well as a spine crawler and queen here, so I'm pretty darn well defended from any sort of attack that he could pose to me. But he does have this barracks here. He's getting his nitro packs, and Reapers at this proxy barracks next to my main. He's also getting a factory in his base and an engineering bay for missile turrets or for upgrades. I moved my Zergling one more time to see what he's doing, but he's not doing anything too special, as I can see quite yet. Here he is, now moving his Reapers up into my base. I don't have too many Zerglings here yet, and I do have this Spine Crawler here. So I'm trying to deny him any sort of harass he can get. But there he gets 1 drone, 2 drones, and he gets a 3rd drone before my roaches come in and force him to move out. Looking at the production tab, I'm getting more roaches, and I'm getting the glial reconstitution, which I believe is the movement speed upgrade, which personally it seems to me like the icons are switched. This one I feel like should be the movement speed upgrade, and the picture of the claw really ought to be the tunneling claws, in my opinion. Anyhow, I move over here because I felt like his Reapers were over there, and I do see that his barracks is now down on the hill. So I realized he had a proxy barracks. I thought that was pretty tricky, and I'm trying to take it out. I do force it to flee away, but in his base now, he is getting a factory, and now he is getting a fast starport, along with all the Marines that he has stocked up here. Whew. Still trying to get that movement speed upgrade, as I have my main fairly saturated. I only have 2 on gas here. Don't know if that was on purpose or if that was a mistake. But anyhow, he is getting a bunker at his expansion. I still have not scouted it, as you will see. I don't know that it is there. So looking at the income tab, he actually has a higher income than me, which is really not a good place to be as a Zerg player. I thought he was still confined to 1 base. But since he had those 2, he has sort of a leg up on me that I did not even know about. And he's going for a fusion core, a very, very early fusion core. I'm trying to do some aggression here with my 5 or 6 roaches. You can really put some good aggression on a Terran player with roaches early game, because they can take so much damage. They can actually quite effectively break down a supply depot and enter the base. However, he does have a siege tank, which even in siege mode deals quite a bit of damage towards these roaches. I'm getting more roaches now, moving him down. I'm trying to put some aggression on the Terran player, because I don't want him to be able to turtle up and do things like get battle cruisers. Absolutely not what I want him to do. I'm getting more and more roaches, and he may be able to see some with this scouting barracks, perhaps. Trying to spread the creep, not doing too well with that. That's something I'm always working on. Being able to spread the creep all across the map as a Zerg player can be very, very critical. I do have my lair up now, and I'm going to get a Spire here. A Spire for Mutalisks, and coincidentally will help me get my Corruptors out if he does eventually intend to go for battlecruisers. Here we go. I have a lot of roaches trying to move up. I'm going to break down this supply depot, and then I'll be able to move up into a burrow. So I do have burrow. I have the burrow research. I have the tunneling claws, and these guys regenerate so fast. And right now I'm very, very confused. I don't know where he's seeing me from. And that's this missile turret over here. The detection range is quite large. And that missile turret was able to see my roaches underground, and then he destroyed all of my roaches here. Although I did deal quite a bit of damage. If you look at the units loss counter, you'll see that I lost many, many more units and a lot more resources worth of units because I lost all those roaches, not realizing in a missile turret there to detect me. That was a mistake. I probably should have backed out there instead of committing and losing all those roaches. Over here at this orbital command, he has dual gas and not really mining from them, a bunker if he needs to, and a barracks just sitting there. But in his base, he now has siege tech. He's sieged up, and he's going to make it hard for me to really hit the front door to get into his base with all these siege tanks. He is now getting a Raven, which is a very good choice on his part. It's going to prevent me from really using this burrow movement or this burrow on these roaches effectively at all. It's usually a very good idea for Terran to do that if he sees that the Zerg player is going roaches. Silly is that a word? Anyway, I walk right past that Reaper, let him to take a couple shots off on my roaches, but not too big of a deal. He has a barrack sitting here, not doing much, keeping tabs on it. I do not want it to land and start producing Reapers or something silly like that. Now, in his expansion over here, this hidden expansion that if you look at my vision, I still do not know he has. I feel like, wow, he's stuck in his base, I have my expansion, I am way ahead right now. Do not know he has this hidden base off to the side. If you look at the income, his income is even still higher than mine, since he has the same amount of bases and he has the mules. I would say that Barballs is definitely in an advantageous position right now. Now getting 2 tech labs on both these starports, and is now going to start trading battle cruisers from his starport. So this is going to be a Terran player going for battle cruisers in a ZVT matchup. And here I'm going to produce a couple of spine crawlers, since I am just a little afraid he might make a little counter push. And so I can move them out towards my gold expansion, which I am planning to take right away. All the meanwhile, I have gotten my Spire, so I do have a couple Mutalisks here. And he got Cloaked Banshees. From the starport, he did get Banshees first off, and I do not have any Overseers. I'm incapable of taking it out. So I'm morphing an Overseer, desperately trying to take out these Banshees. My Overseer gets into range. However, he was able to take down my Spire. That Spire was really critical to me, and I lost it due to my inability to realize, well, he's a starport, he's going to go with Cloaked Banshees. I didn't even think about that. And that Cloaked Banshee is now doing so many damage, taking out so many of my drones, and coming back even for more. I'm trying to rebuild my Spire now, and now he came in with a Hellion Reaper over there, toasting some more, and now a Banshee in my main. I was just in a very, very bad position right now. I felt I was so far behind. Looking at the income, my income, my mineral income is just half of his. My harvester count is abysmal. However, the one thing I was thinking, he's stuck on one base. He has to be running out of minerals in that he has to be running out of mining minerals in his base very soon. I can't be too far behind. I thought I'll get up my 3rd hatchery, I'll start power droning, and then I'll be able to come in and break the turtling Terran. Little do I know, once again I'll bring it up one more time, he has this base. And I do get a Corruptor. I don't know if that was intentional, if that was a mistake, but I'm going to send it over here to take out this barracks. I'm trying to move up with these Cloak Roaches. I don't know why. I don't know why I would do that. His Raven is sitting right there. I must be delusional. And he's going to take out these burrowed Zerglings here that I have for scouting. My hatchery still being built, as if you look on the production tab, I'm getting a lot more Mutalisks, while he is still getting his battle cruisers. These starports are not producing any battle cruisers at the moment. They really ought to be, but he does have at least one battle cruiser right there. Does he have any upgrades? He does not have any upgrades on any of his units, and do I? No, I do not have any upgrades either, although now I'm really trying to start to spread the creep. I have my roaches now. I feel like I have to do something, make sure I can maintain my map control to keep him in, because I feel like that's where my advantage is, the fact that he's stuck in his base. So I'm going to spread my creep and try and go from there. I bring the single roach to kill this tech lab so that I can safely put my hatchery there without being scouted. Over here, Barballs, once again, supply locked and trying to get more and more battle cruisers. As he himself taking out my Corruptor here, and will be able to see now what this is he pushing out with his army. He's moved his army away from his main ramp. Now his army is out in the open. This will allow him to get his command center. And that's very important, knowing that you have to bring your army out to defend your new expansion. It seems pretty straightforward, but oftentimes players do forget to do that. Now here, this is just when I see it. I was flying by. I was trying to fly around the base to get behind his main, and then I see that his expansion. I see there's buildings here. It's fully saturated, and then I realize that I'm probably in a far worse position than I had originally thought I was. So I'm moving in with quite a bit of Mutalisks, 17 Mutalisks here, or not quite, 14 Mutalisks here. But he has a lot of Marines coming in. I'm not sure if he's enough Marines, but I probably don't want to go with a head-on engagement, so I'm going to pull back and bring in my Zerglings and my Roaches. It was a misplay of me. I did not realize I did not even have Zergling speed.